Okay, here's just a quick demonstration or explanation of symmetrical versus asymmetrical curves. This would be as close to a symmetrical curve as you just run out by hand, or if you divide it down the center, the sides kind of match. A circle would be a typical example of that, and that just doesn't look natural. So all you want to do in making your curves for your True Fire Flames templates are just make asymmetrical curves, different sizes, different shape, different depth. Curves like this where there's nowhere you can divide it and match it up. There's no mirror image to be had there. That looks more natural in terms of flames or just about anything else. And you know, it's just this simple. You cannot swing a magic marker without making a True Fire Flame curve that's just as good or better than anything you're going to buy in these way overpriced templates that you can get. So make your own this way. Okay, we get a lot of requests to see the view of laminating these template papers with lamination sheets from behind me over my shoulder. Maybe get a better view of doing that. These are the GBC laminating sheets, and they are Mylar. GBC and Avery, which we're recommending you use, are Mylar, which is MYLAR, which is a high polyester plastic that's solvent proof, and that's all this stuff ever is in these templates, everybody. You get it started with the X-Acto knife there, that way, and peel it back a little bit. Then you can take a straight edge, and you're going to use that to create your starter edge on this. And if you don't even have a straight edge, go ahead and use a piece of cardboard or something. It works just fine. Just about anything you can. You know, it's very easy. Just kind of MacGyver it there, and then just lay it back down there carefully without wrinkling it, and get that edge just up there on that, and that's going to give you a starter edge to pull the peel back layer off of that, and then place the Mylar lamination on this. And again, you can use cardstock. That's what I prefer. You can use regular paper. Either one's fine. Just depends on how heavy and rigid you want your templates to be, and you're going to end up with templates that are just as good, if not better, than anything you could buy, and for a fraction of the cost. And you can see why I like to use cardstock. It's easier than doing this on paper, but that's it. You just do that to both sides and cut out your template out of that, and your template is just a composition of different wild, weird, asymmetrical curves. That's all. So then I'll show you doing the other side here, so you can see this again with the getting that edge started. You just get your X-Acto blade underneath that backing, cut it underneath there, and you get it started. And it can be a bit messy when you first try this, but you'll get it. You can make a ton of templates instead of buying 3 or 4 templates for 150 bucks. For $15, you could make about 100 templates, come up with all kinds of crazy curves and so forth, and you can come up with a lot of different sizes as well. You can overlap these lamination sheets onto a larger area, like say a poster board or something, and make really big templates for doing buses or semis and that sort of thing, for doing the flames on those really big flames. There's just no reason to waste your money buying someone's super ganga templates that they say you need to do True Fire Flames, because that isn't even hype. That's just bull. That's the sort of claim that makes the ShamWow guy sound legitimate. You make your own templates. You can't make anything that isn't as good or better than what you would spend way too much money buying. So then if you've got both sides laminated, just like in the other video, you're going to cut out your template. You can use scissors or an X-Acto knife, whichever one, and I'll show you another trick here in a second that we didn't do in the other video for fine-tuning it. And that is, you come in then, you can to fine-tune your little errors in the curves. I usually just use, you can use scissors or an X-Acto knife, but sandpaper works well. You just want to grip it, the template up near the curve so it doesn't flop around on you. And that's about 200, that's 180. You can use 200, 300 grit, and you can smooth those curves off. You'll have perfect curves. Mylar solvent-proof templates, as good or better than anything you could possibly buy. And for what they charge for those, which is a ripoff, this is what you want to do. Okay, we'll drawing a True Fire Flame template again and cutting that out. And you'll notice this material here I'm using is something different. This is just straight Mylar. This is non-adhesive Mylar, big sheet of it. And you might be asking, well, where do you get that? You get it at a fabric hobby supply store. That's the best, easiest, and probably cheapest place to get this material. Again, Mylar, M-Y-L-A-R, solvent proof. It's kind of what you want to use. These sheets are probably about 7 mil thick or so. If you want thicker, the easiest way to do that, it's hard to find the thicker stuff, is just take 2 sheets of this and use some Super 77 spray adhesive, some good spray adhesive like that, and laminate them together with some spray adhesive, and then you've got 14 mil Mylar. And these are big sheets, so you can make big templates if you want. The bigger the template, the thicker you're going to want it to be. So if you're making a big template for doing buses or trucks, you might want to glue a couple sheets together with spray adhesive, have some thick material. It'll work better for you. Have some 14 mil Mylar sheets. One of the other questions I get frequently is about using contact paper for laminate. That kind of doesn't work real well. Contact paper does not have a very good adhesive to it usually for making laminations for your templates, and also it's usually vinyl, so it'll melt. It's not solvent proof. And then you can come in here on these with the Mylar templates and do the same thing to smooth them out. Either use the scissors and trim them, get your fine tuning there, your edges, or you can use 200 or 300 grit sandpaper, works just great for you. And you can download off my website, chuckbauman.com, some template images. This one, and I'm showing you here, printed off on cardstock on an inkjet printer, laminated it and cut it out, and then you can fine tune it. And there's some, you want to be able to grab the edge close. See, if you don't, it kind of flops if you're not grabbing it close to where you're sanding. It's a demonstration of why you want to grab it closer in there. And sometimes that's a little bit tough, but you can come up with really perfect curves on these things, and by doing this. And then, of course, the other thing, you have to go with the edge. If you go against it, it won't work. I'll show you here. It'll just kind of, all you're going to do is bend the edge if you try going sideways across it. Whereas if you go with the edge, you'll just sand it off real nice and easy and quick. And that's how you do it. Go against it, it's just not going to work. It'll just flop around. So you can get a perfect edge, perfect Mylar template. You can make a whole bunch of these in very little time for a fraction of what it would cost to buy a set of templates from someone. And again, anyone's claim that their templates are some super secret sauce recipe for doing realistic flames or whatever, that's not even hype. That's just bull. You can make just as good or better templates yourself for a fraction of the cost. And that's what you need to do to be an airbrush artist, is make your own templates and so forth. Templates, stencils, and freehand tools, masks, and so forth. There's a lot of tricks and tips to it. And you can go to my website, chuckbauman.com, and download these images. And I've got some DVDs there for sale that are great, 2-hour-long DVDs for half what the other people charge for a 30-minute long DVD. And I really show you what you need to learn on true fire flames and so forth. So if you're interested, that's there.